Imagine a world where the top 1% is not only more educated, healthier, and more exposed to the arts, but genetically superior to those who cannot afford vaccines for their children, let alone genetic manipulations for athletic abilities or physical beauty. Imagine a society in which everyone with the means to is society's perception of perfection. Wealthy citizens are physically attractive, intelligent, and without disease. The majority of you have probably heard of this concept before, or will when you read Brave New World in your sophomore English class. This all comes from the idea of eugenics, which is trying to improve the human race by controlling offspring. As you may think, there are many ethical concerns that come along with this concept, and now that scientists have found a way where parents can genetically engineer their child as to how they would like it to be, the debate is even more prevalent. This concept of genetically engineering babies is commonly referred to as high-tech babies, and there are many ethical and safety concerns that show that genetically engineering babies is wrong and can lead to even deeper divide between the social classes.
Scientists can already screen out many of the diseases that the genetically engineered babies are trying to prevent beforehand. You can be tested at your doctor's office where your doctor will take a small sample of your blood or a saliva swab, or at home where all you must do is take a swab of your inner cheek and mail it to the lab. Testing is readily available and can tell parents a large amount of information before they are even pregnant, ultimately eliminating the need of genetically engineering the perfect children. The results are also often very accurate, and the price of screening has decreased drastically over the recent years and is often covered by insurance. If the results of the screening show that the parents are a carrier for one of these disorders, there are different options in which they can proceed if they want to have a child. Artificial insemination and in vitro fertilization are the most common approach for those who test positive for one of these diseases. Research has proven that there are possible negative effects, such as genes being introduced at random places which can disrupt the function of others, often health genes, which cause dangerous or fatal results. Also, the embryos that are not used are thrown away. Many scientists have reported that genetically engineered babies can result in miscarriage, stillbirth, and other serious injuries to the mother and child. Scientists have recently discovered that they are able to edit out the genes leading to cystic fibrosis and Huntington's disease. However, these diseases are caused by only one gene differentiation, and this does not take into account the consent of future generations. Henrietta Lacks was a woman whose consent was not taken into account when genetic testing became a widespread scientific phenomenon. Her cells were taken after her death and used to test possible vaccinations and cures for diseases. However, Henrietta's consent was never given. In fact, her family did not even know of these contributions until decades later. This violation of consent and natural rights is extremely similar to the consent of future generations being violated by genetic alterations made before they had a chance to find a cure to many diseases without playing God. Some people claim that the ability to alter physical appearance in embryos will help to prevent discrimination against those who look different, but those who mention this clearly have not studied human nature. No matter what children look like, there will always be those who find something different about them. Any difference in attitude or action has always been picked out and discriminated against. Those who wish to discriminate will find a way to discriminate, and no attempt at unifying the human race will change that. If designer babies become a large part of our society's future, a large gap between the rich and the poor will become evident. This will occur because the top % of individuals become the majority of the population if parents are allowed to design their babies with superior traits. Those who cannot afford to design their offspring will be forced even lower into the bottom class. There will be no in-between or middle class, and there will be the elite and the poor. This will cause the lower class to not only face discrimination, but many socioeconomic challenges.
In conclusion, not only is genetically modifying babies potentially unsafe and untested, but it will lead to many moral and social dilemmas for future generations.